Are we good? All right, so hey everyone, my name is Stefan. I'm from Kai, and I'll be talking today a bit about us, about our work with Food Not Bombs, what we've done together, and also a bit about intersectionality and the role of animal rights within it. But before that, I wanted to say a big happy 40th birthday to Food Not Bombs, and a big thank you for inviting us to take part in this event. Despite the strange times that we're in right now, it's still really nice to be here. So kicking off, a few words about who we are. We are a Bulgarian animal rights organization that was founded in 2017, and our main topics are fur farming, it's our first and our main campaign. We're trying to ban fur farms in Bulgaria. And another campaign that we're leading that we've gotten involved in recently is on the topic of cages, which is to prevent the use of cages in animal agriculture in general, but also for laying hens in the egg industry in particular. We're a member of a number of international coalitions. We're part of the Fur-Free Alliance, which is an international coalition of around 50 animal protection organizations working to end the fur industry worldwide. We're also part of the End the Cage Age initiative, which is a European citizens initiative to ban the use of cages in animal agriculture in the European Union. And along with 200 organizations from Europe, we helped collect 1.5 million signatures for that. And we're also part of the Open Wing Alliance, which is an international coalition of 80 animal protection organizations working to improve the welfare of chickens raised in the meat and egg industries. And something else that I probably should have started with, our name, CAI. It's CAAI, which is an abbreviation for Campaigns and Activism for Animals in the Industry. And it's cooler in Bulgarian, it's Kaži, which means speak out. It doesn't work that much in English, but still. But enough about us. A bit about what we've done with Food Not Bombs and the ways in which we've supported each other. I just thought I would go through a number of examples that I thought were noteworthy. I actually prepared slides and photos, which were really cool. We have a number of nice events with them, but unfortunately that won't be possible, so I'll just be explaining it. So yeah, that's true, sorry. So the first thing that came to mind was the Vegan Festival of Solidarity that Food Not Bombs have been organizing for a number of years now, and in which we've been taking part since 2017, since we were founded. We've been taking part with lectures, public outreach events, and a number of other stuff. Something else that is super noteworthy, I think, is the National Citizens Initiative that we organized and the ways in which Food Not Bombs helped with that. So first off, what a National Citizens Initiative is. It's an official petition to the government where you have 3 months to collect as many signatures as possible on paper. And then the government has to look at the issue you're talking about. So we managed to collect almost 35,000 signatures on paper within 3 months in the beginning of 2018 with the help of almost 200 volunteers. And the way in which we did it was, of course, people collected individually, but the most important thing was that we had stands on the streets in a lot of different cities in Bulgaria. And there would be a person on the stand for up to 8 hours a day or more, which of course is a lot of time. And Food Not Bombs were kind enough to routinely pass by the stands that we have, especially in Sofia, and give our volunteers food and beverages, which was super nice. It was super motivating for them, and it was also useful, of course. Another thing is protests. Protests are, of course, a big part of what we do as an animal rights organization, and Food Not Bombs have taken part, of course, with in-person attendance, but also with spreading the events, helping get more people involved, helping out as volunteers for specific demonstrations that we had, where we needed like 30, 50 volunteers to do something very specific. Unfortunately, no pictures. And The last thing that I wanted to mention, of course there are many other events, but we don't have the time. The last one was the workshop on effective vegan advocacy that we organized in May last year. And it was a 2-day event with talks all the time with Tobias Lienart and Melanie Joy. And we had over 30 people take part, and Food Not Bombs were super generous, and they provided the food for over 30 people for 2 days, which was awesome. I think that's enough examples. In closing, I just wanted to say a few words about intersectionality and animal rights. I'm sure most of you would agree. All of the different causes that in the different groups and organizations that have talked or will talk today, the problems that we're tackling, they all have very similar roots, be it speciesism, racism, sexism, classism, any form of discrimination. All of these systems of oppression, as you probably would agree, have the same root, the same kind of mentality behind them. And you can call it tribalism, you can call it in-group, out-group thinking, double standards, whatever it is. We're basically fundamentally fighting the same problem and the same sort of mentality. So I think it's pretty logical that we're all in this together in the end. And we're definitely much stronger united than we could ever be divided. So I'm super happy that events like this are happening, that the Food Not Bombs as a movement exists, because they're super intersectional by definition. And yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to say tonight. And I think if we have time, we could do a round of questions. I actually don't know if it's possible to give questions in the chat in the live stream. If not, just in person, whoever's here. Yeah?
Can you share about your last online strike or event that you had like a few weeks ago?
Yeah. So in case people didn't hear that, the question was about an online demonstration that we had a few weeks ago. So because of course we can't organize anything, all kinds of protests and demonstrations are banned on the streets right now. So, but the suffering of animals on fur farms continues, and the politicians continue not to do as much as we want. They did submit a bill at the end of last year, so it is now officially waiting to be voted on in Parliament, but it's just waiting. So we did an online demonstration. We had a hashtag, the English one is hashtag for free Bulgaria. And we had, I think, 200 or 300 people take part, which just take a picture, post it with the hashtag, and then show your support for the ban in Bulgaria. Other questions? If not, I think it would also be wise of me to mention our website or Facebook so that you can find us if you want. The website is caai.bg, and that's also our Facebook name. So you can find us there. We're looking for volunteers. Any way in which you think you can help is welcome, and also donations, yeah, like every organization. And thank you.
Well, this slot is particularly devoted to cage-free human and non-human animals. We're waiting for a favorite animal of ours to come out and say what they have to